terps grow like that, and it tastes just like gum, which is a man-made flavor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing from the earth gonna come by and it's gonna be tasting like gum. And yeah, like
absolutely not.
Bubblicious.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna grow like that. So
Bubblicious.
I remember that like that was one of the biggest things. And then like you hear conversations coming around that like imagine the ramifications from smoking that. If you were one of those dudes that you're like, oh, you just don't know anything about exotic and kept smoking all that.
That's what I mean.
I think if you smoke it, you know, if you smoked it once or twice, cool. But if you're smoking that on a daily like that or a weekly or however you're regimented and that's the bag you get it from this guy and that guy's running that game. Yeah, I think long-term effects on you. And this is the horrible part is that they won't blame it on the person putting these additives in. They're just going to demonize weed for this. It was the weed. No, it was not the weed. It was the additive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but you know how media is. They'll not ever tell the full story of it. Oh, well, this person was smoking weed and blah, 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 and got respiratory infection and this or that or the other.
Because there was people that were...
But they won't talk about the guy who sprayed it.
Yeah.
Or that the fact is that the person that's having these problems are not having these problems because of the weed, but because what was sprayed on top of it.
By somebody.
By somebody.
Those companies be like... I tried finding it out, and I tried finding most information. Those companies that were doing the canned weed, a lot of them ain't around no more. And they knew what they were doing, bro.
Right.
Yeah, like they knew what the get down was. So it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme, you know, where it's like, hey, we're gonna disappear after a certain amount of time.
Right.
But there was, and the reason I brought it up and the attitude to your statement is because I remember seeing a lot of people at the sessions walking out like they're buying us some cat food with like 30 cans of the canned weed. And I'm like, dude, like if I don't see it come off from the branch or it looks like it came off from a branch, I'm not gonna want to smoke a lot of it. Like that's why I never got into too crazy into the moon rocks,
or
or like any of the Keef joints. One or two